Must be built on flat land. Oh gosh, dang it, I'm gonna get crucified. Hey folks, my name is Pravus. Welcome to more Civilization 6 on our desert planet, playing as Sundiata. I say desert planet, there's a lot more water than I was expecting. I did set this to a very low sea level, but the game had other plans, apparently. Anyway, our game is going very well for ourselves right now. It turns out when you have all the money and faith in the world, you can just buy everything you want and then use your production to get tons of wonders, and that's sort of what we have done, mostly focusing on anything that gives me kind of a general advantage, like the Taj Mahal or the Angkor Wat, and then focusing on anything that gives me, let's say, better religion. Things like the Hagia Sophia. We could, of course, now build the Colosseum, since I apparently do actually have a flat tile available over here. Wouldn't get me an absolute ton of value, unfortunately, because, well, it's too far away from most of my cities. Yeah, if I built right here, there's only 2 cities in range. That sucks. That sucketh massively. That said, we have an opportunity to settle some additional cities. I was thinking about this. As useless as these areas are over here, right, they actually might be okay once we place down a bunch of Nazca lines, because there's a lot of flat desert in some of these areas. Place down, let's say, 3 Nazca lines over here. This actually becomes a really pretty good tile, like 3 food. Once I'm finished up with some of my additional tech, it'll be worth a lot more. It'll be like 4 production, and then like 4 faith. Like, this could be okay. So if we place down a bunch of Nazca lines everywhere, maybe we could eke out at least 2 more cities out here in the open desert. And to that extent, then suddenly the Colosseum actually looks like it could be useful. It's only 8 turns. I guess we'll go ahead and do it, but I am rather miffed about the whole situation. Let's go ahead and use our faith and buy out a couple of settlers. We are only a couple of turns away from ending the Renaissance era and beginning the Industrial era. And there's not going to be a monumentality option, so we should actually go ahead and make sure that we buy a bunch of builders, missionaries. Every single one of our cities should be used to buy something now, while we can, because our faith costs are about to skyrocket. We are making 524 faith per turn right now, though, so we're going to get a lot of that faith back in no time flat. Oh, something else I need to do, because I realized I made a mistake at the end of the last video. This grove is doing literally nothing for me right now. Why? Well, because as easy as it is to overlook these Nazca lines, because they're pretty faint, these are count as improved tiles, which means the grove is doing nothing. I would get more faith and food and culture if I actually just got rid of the Nazca lines entirely, and that is something we are going to do. Yeah, 5 turns until the end of the Renaissance era, so we got a little bit of time, but not much. Let's make sure we keep evangelizing our religion out here as much as we are able to. I want to make sure that everyone understands how much sand sucks. I do really need to find a way to deal with Nubia. I'm pretty confident that Nubia is the only thing that is actually standing in my way from going for a religious victory. They've got 93 pops converted compared to my 100. No one else is really close. Confucianism has a bit. But like, it's my only real contestation. So if I can find a way to deal with Hinduism, then we actually could just convert the world and go for religious victory. The cultural victory is still going to be my backup option. I do think that's still very viable. We've been getting a lot of tourism buildup. If I go for radio, we're going to do really, really well for ourselves. Let's go up over here and delete this. Boom. Yep. See, we get a lot more value out of that grove than we did from the Nazca line. Why are you... Missionary, go away. We're also going to get ourselves the mausoleum at Halicarnassus. I said that right for the first time ever. My wife was making fun of me earlier, actually, as I played Memoriopolis, because I kept saying mausoleum instead of mausoleum. I don't know why my brain does these things sometimes. Mausoleum, Halicarnassus, it's like, why do I say these things? I know it's wrong, and yet my brain just says, like, no, that's legit. It's like, what are you doing? You're betraying me here. Stop it! Anyway, I've ended the war with Dido. Now I'm just going to go around and convert some of her lands. A little bit of an insult-injury thing, but it's fine. William Shakespeare is our next recruit. The man, the myth, the legend. Alas, I don't think I have very many places for you to go. We seem to be mostly full on great works of writing. We can fit some in banks, though, apparently. Wait, really? Hold on, I thought only markets gave us extra slots. Market gains 2 great works of writing. What am I missing? Oh god, there's gonna be another thing that people are gonna criticize me about in the comments. I know it. Actually, I have banks in a few different places, and this is the only one that's showing it here. That's a little weird. Maybe it's because... I wonder if it had something to do with the fact that I did use a great person to immediately get a market and a bank here. I wonder if it somehow gave me a couple extra slots and I missed it. Maybe that was one of the extra features. I don't know. I'm not gonna go look it up. I should, but I'm not going to. Got our first round of workshops coming online in a couple of industrial hubs. We haven't been building industrial hubs in a lot of places. Something we've got to be cognizant of is when I'm ready to, we want to be placing industrial hubs where we have overlap, kind of like the Colosseum. Because remember, once you start getting factories, cities within a certain range get production bonuses as well. I've been fairly haphazard with that because usually I place them down in every single one of my cities. Not in this game, though. What else is even worth building at this point? My production really doesn't do much. I suppose we could just go ahead and start doing things like some campus research grants, industrial zone logistics, anything that's going to let me start getting some extra great people. Wouldn't be the worst thing to do. It's not like amazing, but it's okay. There's a lot of barbarian ships out over here as the world enters into the industrial era. All right, my faith just became a lot less useful. The question now becomes, what the heck do we do for our next dedication? Good question. I don't really know about this one. I mean, no, we're not going to be settling on another continent anytime soon, so Hic sunt Draconis is not going to do me any good. Reform the coinage. Gold, I mean, yeah, international only, though. Heartbeat of Steam, I don't have very many campuses, so this gets me a little production, but it's not a lot. Alternatively, I go for 2 arms. We have a lot of production, we got a lot of money. We could start throwing our weight around a little bit and attacking people and generate a lot less grievances. So this could be an option for us. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I don't know if I want to go to war against necessarily Arabia, but since they're actively purging out my religion, that's a problem. Fighting Nubia would certainly be one way of knocking them down so we can easily get rid of the center of their religion, and that helps reduce pressure. Like, the point is we've got some options there, and while I don't think that I was planning on a very militaristic game, it still is not out of the question. Let's get economics for the stock exchange? Yeah. I mean, I do like that, plus getting Big Ben is pretty awesome. Need to have a river with a commercial hub with a bank. I don't know if we have any open spaces I can do that. Maybe over here, get rid of the ivory. I don't know about that. Instead, just go for ballistics. I mean, I do want that for sure. I guess we can go ahead and work toward ballistics. All right, I do want to start getting some better military units, and I need things like the bombards. Well, we already have that, but also like the field cannons. That would help a lot. And down the culture direction, so we got our conservation. So I could actually set down national parks if I wanted to. That'd be interesting for some tourism. We also now have access to a sanctuary, so we are going to be making our groves a lot better over here now. Imagine this extremely good set of tiles also giving me production and science and other stuff, right? Like, I know it's a lot of investment, but admittedly, these are some really valuable tiles. Ooh, we discovered Brussels. Hey, I like this. We could spend 5 envoys to get you online. Get the 15% production towards wonders. Sure, anyone else more important right now? Not really, no. And we've got Geneva and all that stuff, so it's not like Dido's getting the science. Yeah, all right, fine, whatever. We'll just go ahead and do this. Thank you. Oh, and we also complete the world's first oh my gosh, circumnavigation. Jeezums, brain, work with me. Navigation. That's like, what are you doing? Anyway, there's the Colosseum. Cool, more amenities. And also, we have built the Taj Mahal. I did this mostly because I just kind of felt like it, but this lets me get a lot more era score from special moments, which just means that keeping golden ages is going to be a little bit easier from here on out. Again, do I need it? No, but it feels good. Do I want to just go ahead and buy the sanctuary over here? It's a lot of money, but sure, whatever. Let's just get it done. Look how good these tiles are now. Woohoo! Those are some yields. Go ahead and buy out an archaeologist just so we can start getting that a-running, and then I could really use a zoo or maybe even an aqueduct to my city. I'd have to kill the sheep, which I'm not really opposed to at this point. We're not quite housing capped, though. Let's go ahead and start working on zoos. I've got 7 more envoys to work with. Good lord, I am rolling in envoys this game. We can become suzerains of a whole bunch of people. And remember, with the Kilwa, I get a lot of value out of this. I sometimes forget, by the way, the exact benefit. I had to remind myself of this recently. If you have only 1 suzerain, I think I assume it's in your capital, you get a 15% bonus based on the type. But if you have more than 1, 2, all of your cities get a 15% boost. So I'm pretty sure we're getting like a 15% production boost in all of my cities, 15% extra faith, and so on. Pretty darn nice. Yeah, my religious pressure from missionaries is doing very, very little over here. Okay. It's been a long time since I've tried going for any sort of religious victory this game. To be honest, I usually kind of ignore the religion system unless I'm getting, like, a very small benefit. Like, you know, having the extra production from our holy sites, but I don't go too much further into it than that. I'm trying to remember the exact best way to do things. I think what we're going to have to do is use our copious amounts of faith to get an army of apostles. And we'll just start marching with our maximum promoted super powerful apostles all the way until we get to places like Kerma, which I assume is the start of their religion. We could probably check that. No, the holy city is Meroe. Meroe? Where is Meroe? I don't know. Well, it's probably nearby. Point is, though, just start walling our way through here until we can start eroding at this, because I'm just not getting enough religious pressure to actually keep everything together. They're falling apart too easily, so we're gonna just need to be aggressive about it. But I might be able to win the game before the modern era if I really try. So let's go ahead and commit. It's time to get some apostles. They're gonna get more expensive as time goes on, but like 200 summits or faith, that's no problem. I can buy a bunch of these. So let's see, orator spread an extra 2 times, proselytizer, we can choose anything we want, right? Yeah, so we can choose to have a few that are really, really good at spreading religion, like with translator, and we can be really, really good at going for religious combat with things like debater. Also, what if I went for pilgrim? 3 extra spreads when moving adjacent to a natural wonder for the first time? That wouldn't be hard for me to do. Fascinating. Well, what we want to do is have some proselytizers that remove existing pressure from a city, follow that up with somebody who gets triple strength, right? Just do that, and then always back them. No, don't launch an Inquisition. Oh. Hit the wrong button. Dang it. Nobody expects the Mali Inquisition, am I right? The really annoying thing about having all these apostles, though, is just keeping track of which one has the right promotions, you know? It can be very annoying, actually. Another governor title for me. I'm surprised we haven't gotten Reina yet. Might be worth getting Victor and Reina. I guess we'll start with Reina as the financier. Where could I send you? Remember, we get bonuses for having governors assigned, so makes sense to put this in a few places. Now here's another thing I don't really mess with very often. National parks. Increase tourism and amenities, naturalist units. I've got all that. Must be built by natural wonders, mountains, or a tile with appeal of charming or better, which shouldn't be too hard to do. All 4 tiles must be owned by the same city, contiguous in a vertical diamond shape. No tile can have an improvement or a district. Now that's a small problem. But if I were to place that, let's say, over in this area right here, I know I'd have to get rid of some of the Nazca lines, but we could turn this into a national park. Is that worth it? I don't know. Well, I'll mess with them only because it's not something I usually do, and I feel like today is a day for experimenting. Just found a small problem. If I want to actually use my military to try and get over here toward Nubia if I want to, check out all of these mountains with only 2 passes between these entire sides of the world. Everything else, as far as I can tell, is completely and totally blocked all the way until you get to Mount Kilimanjaro. Are you kidding? Wow. And of course, Arabia hates me and won't let me in. So, yeah, that poses a small problem. Now, one thing I don't think I get. So, I'm in a position where I thought these 4 tiles right here could be a national park. But it's acting like I haven't got the ability to do this. Why? Do I need to place it on the bottom of a diamond shape, and because I can't walk onto the natural wonder, it's impossible to do this? Is that how this works? That would be very frustrating if so, but it does mean that I could probably place it right here. Ooh, okay, we'll test that. Ah, there we go. See, I can place it over here. All right, so it just has to be in the bottom tile. You know what? This is actually the best place for it anyway. I'm quite satisfied with this. So we place, there we go, 5 error score for that one. Plus we get a boost for radio, plus I'm pretty sure we just got 4 more amenities, 1 for each of the 4 closest cities. So nice, okay, that's great. And industrialization is done. Okay, question. Did we end up getting any coal? That is a good question for us. Not seeing any immediately. Brussels has some over there. Okay, Gao does have some. There's a bunch over on the other side of the world, and that is, I think, it in terms of my territory. So the suzerain bonuses and stuff, they could give me some, maybe, but like, really I've only got one source. That's not great. Even so, all right, let's go ahead and start buying things like some factories, get some production boosts in all nearby cities. And would it be worth building Ruhr Valley? I guess so, actually. This wouldn't be too bad. That's like another 20% production in my capital. Plus, we'd be able to get some extra production for any mines and stuff. Not that I have very many in this city, but it's okay. Coal is coming online now. Good. Trying to explore and find out if there's any other heathens I could convert using my missionaries. But it doesn't look like that's going to be easy. And I guess at this point, I don't see any reason to hold off. Let's go ahead and start sending our missionaries into hostile lands. It's not going to be pleasant for you. Most of you will probably die, but it's worth it. Okay, once again, though, I gotta make sure I know which of my apostles I'm using. Triple strength is good, but you want to start with things like the proselytizer. Remove existing pressure. Sand sucks. There you go. And honestly, it might be worth just going and getting some more of the apostles. Though if I'm gonna get pilgrims, I want to do it over here in Timbuktu, because they instantly get the bonus. But over here, I guess it doesn't matter. More apostles, more proselytizers. Okay, we've got most of Arabia fully converted. Baghdad is one of the only exceptions, and I haven't even used much of my charges. Proselytizer is just so very, very strong. Well, amazingly, though, I am actually starting to run out of money. I'm not familiar with this. What is this feeling? Is this what being broke feels like? Proselytizer's doing good work. We're now pushing to the heart of it. I'm pretty sure we're about to start antagonizing Nubia, and they're going to start sending their own apostles to fight me. That's fine, not a big deal. Let's go ahead and buy out Eiffel, because I want that. Let's buy out... what else? Could get Albert Einstein. I don't have an immediate use for you, but I do want the Arab score, just to make sure we don't go into a dark age. Because we've only got a few turns left in this era, amazingly. Somebody is really rushing it. So, Mr. Offense, why don't you go over here and start hitting their apostles? We've got the advantage. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of sand, I shall fear no sand, because we know that sand sucks. And there we go. We've now removed Hinduism as a holy site. It is now just a Lady of the Reeds and Marshes. Even Kawa over here is losing it. Oh, that religious pressure is about to buckle. Now, let's see. What else can we do here? We could go for Broadway. Get a lot of culture in our city with lots of culture generation. That could be kind of nice. Also, a free random atomic era civic boost is not bad. Cristo Redentor could be a thing too. Holy sites do not lose their tourism, relics, and so on. Yeah, there you go. Could be a thing, but I kind of like the idea of getting Broadway a bit more. In fact, I'll go and send Eiffel to finish it out faster. Overall, I continue to contend that Nubia is the most dangerous civ in the game for me. She's actually still ahead in science and so on. But this is the fun thing about going for a religious victory. You don't care. Right? Like, people can actually be pretty far ahead of you in a lot of things, and you can still win the game if you're careful. There we go. Hinduism is now converted, or rather, their holy city is. They still have apostles going around who could be a problem for me, but that's going to greatly reduce the amount of religious pressure. We got a good chance of making this work now. Saladin, stop denouncing me, all right? You lost. Your religion is dead. Get over it. He's not going to get over it. I'm just warning you right now. It's not going to happen. I know it. Let's continue buying out a bunch of apostles. I'm sitting on so much faith. 15,000. Like, if I actually just bought apostles every single round, I think we'd just win the game. I probably should just do that, right? Why am I wasting time? Why am I dragging this out? Let's get radio. I definitely want to pick that up. Broadcast centers and so on could be nice. Also, if we have aluminum, like, I've always got the option to turn this into a domination victory instantly. Because we all know that aircraft and bombers are grossly overpowered in all the best possible ways. There we go. Broadway is now done. Thank you. Get a boost towards the Cold War. Not sure how I feel about that one. Let's go ahead and kill off their apostle. Boom. And Hinduism goes down a little bit. This is why religious combat is nice. If you can find and kill some of their missionaries and stuff in religious combat and debate them, it's amazing, but people actually start to listen. I'm gonna go ahead and declare friendship with a few folks. Since we're apparently not gonna be going to war, this is a completely useless dedication. I'm sorry, I just didn't look at the topography of the map. Like, this is just... this is atrocious to try and attack the world, right? Like, we're fully walled off from pretty much everyone because of this mountain range. It's really kind of crazy. Now, one thing that's gonna be great when Civ 7 does come out, I think I did a video on that. Well, I know I did a video on that, but maybe you guys saw that I did a video on that a while ago. The ability to actually stack up a bunch of your units onto field commanders is going to make mountain passes like this far more manageable. It's going to be kind of cool. You get to play a little bit like Hannibal, right? Crossing the mountain ridge on the way to Rome. Mountain ridge, mountain pass. My brain's trying to say something, but if you can't tell, I'm struggling a little bit today. If I wanted to go for something like a tourism victory, I'm just curious, how are we doing on that front? Pretty good. My culture's looking solid now. Well, culture and tourism, both looking pretty good. Could be a lot better, though. Wait, what the heck? Lost my promotions. Wait a minute. Did I miss that somebody stole Yerevan from me? No. Well, why am I now only able to get 3... Huh. Somehow I'm only able to get 3 promotions, but it says I've still got Yerevan. Well, what happened? Yeah, I'm very, very confused. I'm not sure how that happened, but it did. Okay, well, we get less promotions, I guess. And that sucks because the odds of me getting the exact bonuses I want are very, very low now. It's fine. Just keep going with the original plan. Get lots and lots of apostles. There's only a minor setback. Very minor. There's the Big Ben Tower. Okay, built that sucker up just so I could get the extra economic policy slot. There we go. Now I have access to all the promotions. Maybe just for a brief moment I didn't have Yerevan as a city-state suzerain and it just disappeared. I'm not sure. Okay, the world now enters into the modern era. It's turn 214. I was kind of hoping to have a bit more progress, but I kind of overestimated how quickly my missionaries would be able to make these guys fall. It's working one civilization at a time, and the good thing about religious victories is it snowballs. The more religious pressure we've got because we've taken down more and more of these other religions, the faster it should be able to start accumulating throughout the world. Oh, the cradle of Zoroastrianism just fell. I didn't even know that this was their holy city. Cool. So once again, we're in a golden age, and once again, I'm not really sure what to do with this. All right, fine. Heartbeat of Steam, I guess. I don't really care at this point. It doesn't matter too much. Let's go ahead and submit some more proposals with the UN. I'm hoping they're going to give me a... Oh, gosh dang it. Everyone always votes for monarchy for the free wildcard slot. They always do. Because everyone's always stuck on a freaking monarchy. Gosh, why can't people have more enlightened forms of government? I was hoping my democracy would be really good in about 3 turns. Okay, I have another army of apostles ready to go. Launch them into the sea! Go forth, my faithful minions! Find the heathen! Cyprus doesn't like that I'm converting you. You can't stop this. It's gonna happen. I mean, you can try to stop it. I'll even be impressed if you're able to slow me down. But you can't stop it. Now, we don't care about converting the city-states. What I care about is just making sure I'm the dominant religion in everyone else's civilization. So I'm hoping to hit up Egypt and Australia this time around. And God, I'm remembering why this is annoying, because I have to micromanage every freaking apostle. There's too many of them. And while I'm sending a wave to the east, I need to go ahead and get another wave ready for the west, since apparently I am now stalling out over places like Nubia and Persia. It's fine, though. What's the point of having like 30,000 faith if you can't spend it all on a whim? Let's go ahead and adopt democracy as my new form of government. Too bad there isn't some sort of an advanced theocracy. And this lets me get some more bonuses. What could I want? I mean, we could get a lot of extra gold. That's a thing. Fair number of amenities from New Deal, though. That's pretty great. Ooh, here we go. Extra religious strength in theological combat. That works perfectly. Plus, I get even more faith. Also, I guess I should just keep buying more great people. Sure. What kind of new building could I get in our diplomatic district? The Royal Society? Builders get all their charges provide bonus production. I mean, that's good to get districts really quickly. More slots for any great work or a war department. None of this is super helpful. I guess I'll get the Royal Society. Oh, frick off, Persia. Stop denouncing me. I wasn't even trying really hard to convert that one, all right? They wanted it. Oh, a religious emergency! I've got lots and lots of diplomatic favor for this exact purpose. No. And I have friends, too. No one's gonna agree to this. See? I told you. Whoa. Hey. You thought that I wouldn't notice you're trying to reconvert your holy capital? No. Dang, they actually might manage to pull it off, too. I wasn't able to kill enough of them. Yep, they actually did manage to convert it. It's fine, I got proselytizers nearby. All right, let's go ahead and start working here against Egypt. Nope, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna stop. I refuse. I will continue to do what I'm gonna do. You can't stop it. It's inevitable. Also, we should have just learned where oil is. If there's not a ton of oil on this map, I'm going to be very disappointed. There's at least a bit of oil down there, and I do not see a lot more. Wow, you're kidding me. It's a desert! Deserts have oil! There we go. We have now converted the capital of Confucianism. Rockadet! I just have to be careful not to accidentally waste my proselytizers. Those are the most useful right now when you're first breaking in. You got any apostles, Egypt? Anyone I need to be worried about? No? Nice. God, I've forgotten how boring religious victories are, though, for God's sake. Literally, this is so unfun. It's only mildly more fun than going for a freaking diplomatic victory, which that's saying something, because those are very not fun. Oh, looks like Egypt does have some apostles. Okay. But here come reinforcements on the west. Even with all these apostles, I'll take you down. Look at these guys with their big, scary modern armor. Nubia's flexing a little bit, but I've actually surpassed them now in science per turn and definitely in culture per turn, so we're getting somewhere. How are we looking as far as religion? All right, so Mali, Nubia, Phoenicia, Arabia have majorities. I'm working on Egypt. Heading up toward Australia, and then Persia's resisting me, but they don't have very many cities. I've only got 6. I'm only like 1 away from converting Egypt sufficiently, so Australia's gonna take the longest, but we're very close to winning the game right now. And AI is being annoying too. They literally start hiding their apostles whenever I'm here in force. I don't know where they ran. It's smart, because it's annoying, because it means I have to go and hunt them down later. You know, it's time for a good old-fashioned Inquisition. Oh, there they are. They're hiding up over here. Kill them! How am I doing on great works? Filling out pretty well. Need a few more works of writing, but otherwise looking solid here. Okay, I think that's enough for Persia. No, we're 1 shy in Persia. Okay, but they're easy. Because they don't have a religion anymore, it's just their pantheon. That really leaves only Australia, and I've got a bunch of apostles now bearing down on them. Oh, Nubia's mad! Too bad, you lose. Look, come on, guys. If anyone should agree that sand sucks, it ought to be Australia. Work with me, guys. Work with me here. Got 5 cities down so far. Just like 2 more to go. Oh, Melbourne up here will do. And Hobart. That's all I'm looking for. Oh, religious emergency! No, 12 votes says no. Haha, fools! You're about to lose the game because you couldn't come together at the moment of crisis. Look, everyone, I'll give you a credit where it's due, all right? You certainly gave me a run for my money. You certainly did try really hard to win the game. At least Nubia did. But unfortunately, you are going up against a literal cult owner. All right, if anyone understands how to propagate religion, it's gonna be me, right? Not really. I have no idea what I'm doing. There we go. All right. Religious victory for me. Well, I would say that was fun, except it was actually extremely tedious. Yeah, this is why I prefer to go for science or for domination victories and kind of none of the others. Culture victories can be fun, though. I don't mind them. They're pretty good. So when it comes to faith, I mean, I'm surprised how well Nubia kept up with me for a while, considering how good I was at producing it. But as you can see, it really was no contest in the end. Heck, I even actually kept up with the Deity AI for wonders and eventually surpassed them, which is truly shocking. Ended up doing pretty well from district construction, didn't fall behind too much. But from the score perspective, yeah, no, this was good. This was a very good game for me overall, despite the fact that we were playing in pretty rough conditions. Well, that was fun, but that's all the time we have for today. So thank you all for watching this shorter series of Civ 6. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please consider hitting that like button. Leave a comment down below with what other challenges you think that I ought to give a try. And of course, subscribe if you want to see my future content. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.